I gained 70 pounds, yes, 70, and I'd like to. Hey everybody, welcome back, and I'm really excited to share 5 tips that I use to get back into shape after having both my kids. So with my first pregnancy, I gained 70 pounds, yes, 70, and I'd like to say it was all baby, but it was definitely not all baby. Anyways, with that first pregnancy, it took about 2.5, 3 months to drop the 70 pounds, and I'm not into crazy diets, I'm not into crazy exercise, all that intense stuff, because for me it's more of a lifestyle and what you can do every day to help yourself out, as opposed to like do an idea for 3 weeks and then you give up because it's too intense, and then you go back to where you're at. My second baby, I put on about 45 pounds, and it took about, I guess, a little longer, about 3.5 months to get back into shape, because I was, busy with, 2, so it took a little bit longer. So about 3.5, 4 months, and with the first, it took about 2.5 to 3 months. But again, I definitely feel like it's doable for everyone if you follow these 5 super simple steps. Number 1 is simply assess your food intake on a daily basis. And I don't mean you have to have a food journal or count your calories. I'm not implying that. What I mean is there's something that you're doing in your daily eating schedule that is not helping you. So for me, for example, as I assessed my nutritional intake, I noticed that something I was having for lunch was 1,800 calories. And it was this Greek plate. It was delicious. It had chicken, potatoes, rice, a salad. And your mind tricks yourself, because I was like, oh, there's a salad. There's some green on the plate. That must be healthy, even though it was soaked in dressing. Anyways, that was 1,800 calories. That's a lot of calories for one meal. So I looked at my whole entire day, and that was the dish that was really, really putting me over. And all I did is I just modified it. I kept the chicken, I kept the salad, I asked for dressing on the side. I said no potatoes and no rice. So I kept the theme of having this delicious chicken Greek plate, but I didn't do it to the extent of having 2,000 calories. Number 2 is plan your meals in advance, and that will help avoid that tendency to just grab whatever is around the house, muffins, bagels, whatever it might be. So planning it will make it less like you will do that. For example, and I don't mean big meals, these fancy things, nothing. For example, tomorrow, my mental prep is I'm gonna have oatmeal in the morning, I'll have a peanut butter sandwich 2 hours later, I'll have 2 eggs 2 hours later, I've got some chicken breast prepped in the fridge for me to put in the oven to have 2 hours later from there. So I've got kind of a mental note of what I'm gonna have every 2 hours, and that will prevent that extreme hunger onset and then gorging in a huge meal. Also, with planning your own meals, if you are going out with friends, you're going out for dinner, I always look at the menu of the restaurant I'm going to before going, and I decide on what I'm gonna order before I go, including dessert. And I already decide who I'm gonna ask to split the dessert with, because I know who likes what, who likes cheesecake, who likes chocolate cake. So I don't just plan my home meals, I plan going out meals, because I like to go out with my friends. I like to go out with my husband. It's fun for me. I like to go out as a family. I don't want to restrict myself, but I will plan my restaurant meal and dessert well in advance, so I'm not stuck, oh, what's this, what's that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this whole thing. So I'm not confused. I know what I'm gonna get into. I know roughly what the caloric intake may or may not be, or how nutritional it is, how much protein it is. So I plan it, and I plan on what I'm gonna substitute to make it a healthier choice for myself. Number 3 is eat frequent small meals every 2 hours. And by this, it kind of goes in conjunction with number 2 about planning your meals. So you can plan your meals for every 2 hours. So every 2 hours, I'm eating something that is nutritional, filled with some protein, and things I like to eat, right? So I always find an egg is a really good go-to for me, at least. Something with cheese, peanut butter. So that is what I will be doing tomorrow every 2 hours, and I have a mental note of that because I've pre-planned it in my mind. And I actually used to plan it on paper when I started doing this 4 years ago when I had my first baby. And the reason I started eating every 2 hours is actually when I was pregnant with my first son, I wanted to eat every 2 hours, and that just kind of continued going from 4 years ago till now. And I noticed, oh hey, I've lost weight. Oh hey, I'm fitting back into my clothes quite quickly. So anyways, I noticed that prior to my first, I would have huge meals, just huge meals, like a huge breakfast, huge lunch, huge dinner, nothing in between. Anyways, this seems to work really well. So yes, eat every 2 hours, a small meal. Number 4 is keep on moving, keep on sweating. And yes, as a new mom, you will not have time to have some sort of cardiovascular schedule, drop-in classes, boot camp, whatever, biking, because you kind of are trying to get a hang of this motherhood thing. Your babies, you want to spend time and cuddle. Agree. But that doesn't mean you can't walk to places, stroll uphill, stroll downhill. So I didn't have time for exercise in the beginning. Of course, I'm busy. But what I did is I would stroll everywhere, and I would stroll fast, and I would choose the hardest way of getting there and the longest way. Up hills, rocky, because I had a jogging stroller, so I wouldn't jog with the jogging stroller. I don't even know why I got a jogging stroller because I don't even jog, but it's great on rough terrain. So I would actually speed walk for about 45 minutes a day. And that was actually by accident because my first baby had such bad colic that strolling at high speeds is the only thing that would make him stop crying. So it was an accidental fall into a technique to get in shape without meaning to. So I just strolled with him forever each day for months on months and months. And I didn't even mean to lose the weight. I wasn't even trying to lose the baby weight with my first one at all because I was too busy understanding what to do with the baby that cries 24/7 with colic. So I was busy with that, but in doing so, I lost 70 pounds in 2.5 months. There was not even eating every 2 hours because I didn't even have time to plan anything at that point because he had colic. So it was just the speed walking every day, and it worked really well. I took the stairs with him in the carrier. I basically had him attached to me some way, and I just moved, sweat. And honestly, 2.5, 3 months was back to myself. So number 4, keep moving, keep sweating, and take the hard, long way to get to places like the mall, drop-in groups, wherever you're headed. Lastly, number 5 is do not ban foods. Banning foods makes them have an extra appealing quality about them. If you tell yourself you can't have chocolate ever, you're gonna want it. You want what you can't have. It becomes this necessity, this desire. So don't make it that. Do not make it not accessible. Do not ban food. So just moderation, everything in moderation. So I eat dessert every day, multiple times in a day. I just had graham crackers with s'mores. I think that's called s'mores. Anyways, it was delicious. But what I'm saying is, if you like chocolate, don't have the entire chocolate bar. Have some of the chocolate bar and put the rest away. If you like cakes at a dessert place after dinner, I used to eat the entire thing myself, but now I will ask if someone wants to split it with me, right? So find ways to satisfy yourself with your cravings without fully going into it. So not the full cake, not the full pie, not the full chocolate bar, not the full, even if you have a salty tooth and you like French fries and burgers and things like that, maybe split the fries with someone, or maybe don't go with the fries and have just the burger. It's that type of thing. So you don't need to ban foods, in my opinion, because they just make it that much more enticing, and you're more likely to fall into the trap of eating the entire thing. At least that's what happens to me, right? So today I did have a burger and fries and dessert, but I had half the fries and I took the bun off the bottom. So I just found a way to cut some of the carbs and whatnot out of that meal, and you can just do it super easily. You just move the top bun, or don't have the fries, you can still have the burger, for example. Anyways, I hope you've liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post weekly videos, and I've got an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and I'll link that all below. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and like it. Okay, have a great night. Bye.